I'm very grateful. I thank God each and every day, and I'm just letting God guide talent.
Jennifer Hudson just shook the table and sent shockwaves straight at Common with a revelation nobody saw coming. She finally broke her silence about why she turned him down, and the reason is not your typical Hollywood mismatch. According to what she shared, she believed Common was involved in relationships with his male friends and even tried to build connections with men in her circle. That claim flips the script on the smooth, poetic image he's carried for years and raises serious questions about what's really happening when the cameras stop rolling.
As well, and I am very happy. Are you happy in your relationship?
Yes, this relationship is a happy place for me. It's like...
I love that you use the word happy place.
No, but seriously, it's like, for me, it's one of them things where I found where I can... Seeing her happy actually makes me really happy, so...
And she did not stop there, not even close. Jennifer went deeper. Speaking on his personal life and bringing up the child he shares with Kim Jones, she suggested that he may not even be the biological father and hinted that he isn't able to have children, leaving the real paternity hanging in the air like a riddle nobody can solve. That kind of statement hits hard because it challenges the foundation of his family image and turns a private matter into a public mystery overnight.
Are you the marrying type? Do you think this one could be the one?
We're going there.
I like that in you. I like that.
You're different.
Yeah.
You're setting. Like I'm a different guy now.
Listen, I feel like I have grown, and the work that I've done on myself has allowed me to see that I am a marrying type. I am the type that I'm capable. I had a capacity, and I, at some point in my life, I may want to do that. Just, I would know when the right time is, and I think, for me, everything is divine. Like I work from that discernment that God speaks. When He speaks into your stomach, and you feel it in your heart and your spirit. So, when I would feel that, I would communicate with that person, and if she's feeling that, then that would
Then why not?
Then why not? Yeah.
But Jennifer had even more to unload. She described a pattern in his relationships that tells a completely different story from the polished gentleman persona fans see on red carpets. According to her, behind closed doors, he has shown a cold, dismissive side toward the women he dates, a sharp contrast to the respectful vibe he projects in interviews.
I'm very grateful. I thank God each and every day, and I'm just letting God guide this relationship.
Because God is in it, right?
God is in it.
That's right. Listen. Okay, this is the happy place. And
Speak on it.
She the one you say.
Speak on it.
I heard that.
Speak on it.
But here at the happy place, we like to respect people's privacy, so I'm not gonna ask you too many more questions about that.
Yeah.
But everybody wanna know, so I had to.
Yeah.
Ms. Hudson had to get into that thing.
We keep it private, but I want to acknowledge how wonderful she is, how great she is, so that's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel that same way about my partner.
And with all that on the table, the image of Common suddenly looks a lot more complicated than anyone expected. Jennifer made it clear that this is exactly why she walked away and never looked back. In her eyes, the signs were there, and she decided she was not about to stay in a situation that did not sit right with her. And once she started talking, it was not just about her experience anymore. The ripple effect of her words stretches way beyond the two of them, touching his past, his family, and every woman connected to his name.
Speaking of EGOTs from the South Side, Jennifer Hudson, your girlfriend, how special is that relationship to you?
Oh, man, that relationship is one of the greatest blessings and most important things in my life, in my whole journey in life. The friendship, the partnership, the life partnership, just the connection. Byron, to have somebody who's as talented and just soulful and like gifted and can do all these different things, and is one of the greatest vocalists of all time, and just this pure artist, man. Like, she's a special artist, but then to have someone who, most importantly, when it comes to relationship, it's just like, it's like equal yoke. Y'all can.
She basically hinted that heartbreak is nothing new for him. And if you line up his dating history, you might start connecting dots that were hiding in plain sight all along. Let's rewind and really look at the timeline. Common was with Kim Jones up until 1998, and they welcomed a daughter, Ye Asada Lin. But the relationship fell apart when their daughter was just 1 year old, and that split left a lasting impact. In his 2019 memoir, Let Love Have the Last Word, he opened up about something deeply personal. He admitted that Ye once felt he did not try hard enough to be present in her life. He explained that those emotions were tied to the messy breakup, saying it was the usual struggle you hear about when young parents separate. As he told people, love is obviously there, but it's like sometimes I wasn't able to have as much access, and without that, we couldn't build the strongest relationship. That confession alone adds another layer to the image he presents in public. Then came the era with singer-songwriter Erykah Badu, and that chapter was anything but quiet. They dated from 2000 to 2002, blending romance with creativity in a way that had fans locked in. They teamed up on tracks like Jimmy Was a Rock Star from his 2002 album Electric Circus, and Love of My Life, an ode to hip-hop, from her 2003 album Worldwide Underground. On top of that, they joined forces for the Brown Sugar soundtrack in 2002. From outside, it looked like pure artistic chemistry, but knowing what we know now, it makes you wonder what was really happening behind the scenes, years after they went their separate ways. Common revisited that chapter with Erykah Badu and did not downplay it at all. Speaking to people, he called her his first real love, and the way he described that breakup sounded heavy. He said, "When we split, I was 27 or 28. I was in a haze just going through the motions. It was hard to eat." Then he made sure to add, "It wasn't her fault. The relationship just didn't go forward." That confession painted him as a man shaken to the core, not the cool and collected poet fans are used to seeing. And in 2019, when they reunited on stage at the Black Girls Rock Awards after first performing together back in 2005, it felt like a full circle moment that had everyone reminiscing about what once was. Then there was Taraji P. Henson, and that relationship moved in total stealth mode. They kept it quiet while they were together, but years later, Taraji described it as the last real long-term relationship she had. That statement alone carried weight because it showed how serious it truly was behind closed doors. She also shared that her son, Marcel, who was around 11 at the time, felt sad when they broke up, which says a lot about how deeply he was integrated into her world. After hearing her reflections, Common responded on a Sirius XM show by calling her a good woman, keeping things respectful and polished in public. And in 2013, Taraji even supported him by tweeting a link to his single Testify, proving there was no messy fallout in the spotlight. And let's not forget the Serena Williams era, because that pairing had headlines buzzing. Common and the tennis legend dated between 2007 and 2010, blending hip-hop royalty with sports greatness. In 2015, he spoke about their relationship on the Meredith Vieira show, saying, "Not every ex-girlfriend and I are still friends, but with some, I am." He added, "We got a great understanding, and I care about her as a person. It's not like every other person you talk to every other day, but you know you still have that risk. You have love for them and want to see them do well." They have even reunited professionally over the years, keeping things cordial and mature on the surface. But when you stack all these stories together, the pattern starts looking a lot more layered than the simple gentleman image suggests. By 2016, Common and Serena Williams were no longer a couple, but they still showed up side by side for bigger conversations. They sat down during ESPN's special The Undefeated in Depth, Serena with Common, tackling racism and tennis head-on, proving their connection did not just vanish after romance faded. Then in 2018, they appeared together again at an event hosted by Creative Minds Talks, keeping things respectful and grown in public. It was the kind of post-relationship dynamic that looked smooth on the surface, but it also showed how carefully managed his public ties tend to be. Next came political analyst Angela Rye, the principal and CEO of Impact Strategies, and this chapter felt more serious from the jump. They dated from 2017 to 2018 and made their red carpet debut at the Creative Arts Emmys in September 2017 after weeks of quiet speculation. But by March 2018, people confirmed they had split, and Angela later opened up about why on her podcast On One with Angela Rye. She revealed they had honest conversations about the future, saying, "We had been talking probably for 2 months about let's see where things go because I'm leaning towards I want kids." Then she added, "And he was leaning towards I don't know." She continued, "And I think when somebody tells you they don't know, they don't really want that. They just don't want to hurt you." That right there paints a picture of two people on completely different timelines. And once again, it was Common stepping away when things got real. Then, Tiffany Haddish entered the scene after they met on the 2019 film The Kitchen. At first, it was strictly friendly. As Haddish told Steve-O on Steve-O's Wild Ride, "Our friendship wasn't anything sexual or anything like that because my eyes were set on something else." But eventually, the connection shifted into romance. And even that did not last. Once again, the relationship ended, adding another name to the long list tied to his history. Through all of this, social media often painted Common as the thoughtful poet, the evolved gentleman, the safe choice. But when you line up the timelines, the breakups, and the repeated pattern of stepping back, When commitment questions get heavy, a different narrative starts forming. He has often seemed to control when relationships begin and when they end, keeping the upper hand in the process. And this time, when he made the bold move of proposing marriage to Jennifer Hudson, it raised even more questions about whether he was truly ready for forever or just playing the role once again. This time, the script flipped in a way nobody expected. Jennifer did not just turn him down quietly. She made it crystal clear that she was done and showed him the exit without hesitation. Word around the situation is that she was not about to tie her future to a man she believed had his eyes drifting toward her finances. And that rejection reportedly did not sit well with him at all, for someone known for walking away on his own terms being the one dismissed hit differently. The energy shifted, and suddenly he was not the one holding the cards anymore. It leaves people wondering if Jennifer ended up being the unexpected reality check he never anticipated. Now let's rewind and unpack how this even started. Back in 2022, dating whispers began swirling while they were filming Breathe. The two were spotted grabbing dinner more than once, and eyewitnesses described the vibe as cozy and flirty, mentioning cuddling and plenty of giggling. The chemistry rumors spread fast, but Jennifer stepped forward to shut it down. She insisted that people were building their own stories and running with assumptions. Still, that denial did not stop the speculation from heating up. Later on, a source close to the situation told Radar Online that the relationship was very real. According to that insider, they had known each other for years before things shifted into something more romantic during filming in Philadelphia. Once the cameras stopped rolling for the day, they reportedly kept finding their way back to each other, spending offset time together that blurred the line between co-stars and something deeper. And from there, what started as quiet whispers turned into a full-blown headline romance that now looks a lot more complicated than anyone first imagined. The rumors went into overdrive when Common flew all the way to London for the premiere of A Strange Loop, the musical where Jennifer Hudson held a leading role. That was not a casual pop-in appearance. That was a full transatlantic move, and people noticed. A source told the Daily Mail that the two had been keeping things intentionally low-key, trying not to let the spotlight turn their connection into a spectacle. But once they touched down overseas together, it became harder to deny that something serious was brewing. For months, speculation had been simmering, but this London trip turned the heat all the way up. Even though they arrived at the show separately to avoid a scene, insiders claimed that once they were out of public view, they stayed close and clearly moved like a couple. The body language, the private moments, the energy away from cameras all told a different story than the carefully staged entrances. From the outside, it looked like Common was ready to make it official and let the world know exactly where they stood. Jennifer, though, seemed more cautious about locking it in publicly. She reportedly wanted more time to figure out if this was truly the right path for her. And then, in January of this year, the guessing game finally ended when they addressed everything directly on her talk show, clearing up the mystery that had kept fans talking for months. After they confirmed everything on her show, people expected the gloves to come off and the romance to go fully public. Fans thought the soft launch phase was over and that we would start seeing more hand-holding, more red carpets, more bold couple moments. But not everyone was cheering. There were plenty of voices online warning that Jennifer might be stepping into dangerous territory because of his track record with Erykah Badu, Taraji P. Henson, and Serena Williams. Those relationships may have started beautifully, but they did not end quietly, and that pattern had critics raising eyebrows fast. Then the Angela Rye chapter came back into focus, and that is where many say the deeper cracks showed. It even became known that Michelle Obama had once advised him on personal growth and accountability, which made people question why a man with decades of relationship experience still seemed to struggle with basic commitment conversations. Growth is always possible, no doubt about that. But when someone with a long romantic history keeps circling the same issues, it starts to look less like confusion and more like avoidance. Angela did not hide her frustration either. She explained clearly that they wanted different futures, saying, "We just wanted different things." She went on, "We had been talking for about 2 months about let's see where things go because I'm leaning towards wanting kids. And he was leaning towards, I don't know if I want to have kids. So I said, I don't know what else there is to talk about." That was not vague. That was a line drawn in bold. And then came Tiffany Haddish, who first connected with him while playing love interests in the kitchen. At first, it looked light and playful. But just like with Angela, Tiffany believed there was real potential for something long-term. When she began taking the relationship seriously, the dynamic shifted again. According to her later remarks, the breakup was not as mutual as it was presented publicly. She pushed back on the narrative and suggested that things were not handled transparently. When you stack these stories back to back, it paints a cycle that makes Jennifer's decision feel a lot less random and a lot more calculated. Tiffany did not sugarcoat it when she reflected on how things ended. She described the breakup as him basically saying, "I think this relationship has run its," and her response, calm but cutting. She looked at him like, "Okay, so you are comfortable being a 50-year-old single man." That exchange alone spoke volumes. When you step back and look at the pattern, the warning signs were flashing bright. Still, at the time, Jennifer seemed deeply invested, maybe too invested to see the storm clouds gathering around her. But now, the tone feels different. Rumors began circulating that he proposed and she turned him down, with a source telling Radar Online that she was not ready to take that leap. One major reason reportedly holding her back was his long-standing reputation as someone who keeps his options open. On top of that, Jennifer carries scars from her previous marriage, and those wounds do not disappear overnight. According to The Insider, after her engagement fell apart years ago, she convinced herself marriage just was not meant for her. Then Common entered her world, charming and persistent, making her reconsider something she once closed the door on. To understand why that hesitation runs so deep, you have to look at what happened with her ex-husband, David Otunga. They got engaged in 2008 and welcomed their son the following year, building what looked like a solid family unit. But after nearly a decade together, the relationship collapsed. Jennifer ended it after enduring serious turmoil, including physical abuse. Beyond that, there were accusations, emotional strain, and claims that he spoke negatively about her to their son while attempting to paint her as unfaithful. It was a painful chapter that reshaped how she views commitment entirely. So when another proposal landed in her lap, it was never going to be a simple yes without deep reflection. At one point, things reportedly went so far that David pressured their son to keep tabs on Jennifer and report back about her daily movements because he suspected she was being unfaithful. That kind of behavior raised serious concerns and added even more strain to an already fractured relationship. So when people ask why Jennifer hesitates at the thought of marriage, the answer is layered. It is not just about Common's romantic history. It is also about surviving a deeply toxic chapter that reshaped how she protects her peace. Now, when it comes to the proposal rumors, insiders say Common did not take her refusal lightly at all. He reportedly pushed back hard, insisting that he has grown and would never treat her the way he handled past relationships. He tried to reassure her that this time was different, that he was ready for something lasting. But Jennifer has held her ground. She is said to be firm in her decision, still guarded about stepping into marriage again. According to sources, he has told her that despite his history with several high-profile women, he sees this relationship as permanent. But from Jennifer's perspective, she has heard promises before. She once spent 9 years engaged, believing she was building something forever, only to watch it unravel. The idea of walking down that road again and ending up right back at the starting line is not something she is eager to gamble on. And it raises an interesting question. Why did he step away from so many women in the past? Because he was not ready. Yet now he is suddenly prepared to kneel and commit when faced with resistance? That shift alone has people talking. So when it came down to that proposal, the answer was a firm no. And to many watching from the sidelines, it is starting to feel less like heartbreak and more like karma circling back around. Once the story hit the internet, the comment sections lit up fast. People wasted no time sharing exactly how they felt about Jennifer's choice and what it might mean for him. One person wrote, "I think Jennifer made the right decision. She's been through a lot, and now she has advanced in life. It doesn't look like karma stays in relationships, long anyway. There's no need to risk her happiness or accomplishments for something that may be temporary. Good for Jennifer." Another added, "Jennifer Hudson is on a much higher spiritual level than Common, and she knows it. Plus, karma is real. A leopard never changes its spots. Common is an energy vampire. Jennifer found this out in time. All the best to J. Hood." Those reactions say a lot about how the public is reading this entire situation. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Jennifer dodged a bullet? Or do you believe Common truly changed and she walked away from something real? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button. Subscribe for more deep dives like this and stay locked in because the drama never really ends.